the things that never change. You gotta keep pushing on, the sun don't rain all the time. There's gonna be some heartache and pain. Woke up Sunday morning, got a little bad news today. They say my life ain't worth living, and time is slowly ticking away. Don't think that I'm going crazy, 'cause thoughts keep running through my head. I know I gotta be strong, gotta hold on. Sometimes I'd rather give up instead. Seem like I'm better off dead. Like Mary molasses, but the things that never change. It'll never change. You gotta keep pushing on, the sun don't rain all the time. There's gonna be some heartache and pain. Don't tell me how to live my life after all that we've been through. Don't wanna hear about your hardship, 'cause I've been there myself a time or two. Still life goes on if you just keep holding on. So many things to survive, wondering. Top of the morning, what's up?
Baby, whenever you get that love ambition, call on me.
So into you,
Could it be the first impression I made of you in June? Since then, my mind has been thinking of ways to put you in submission and make you my new prey. I don't even know your name, so how can we get together?
don't need to know if you have a man. Don't need to care, 'cause I know one thing's for sure, baby. You will like the way I do you, baby.
Yeah.
Take my time to love from front to back.
Whenever you get there,
So whenever you get that love ambition, baby,
call on me, sugar.
just call on me and I'll come running back.
Come on.
Up and down, baby.
Don't know why I keep thinking of you. Could it be every motion?
What's up?
I know a place where we could go outside and have some fun. Just you and me, together be a one-on-one. I know you remember when we used to chill back there, smoking the blunt and sipping on the Heineken. Long time no see, what you been doing? Is everything alright? I know you know that I've been cruising, even though I've been out of sight. This time, don't.
Work it down to 14. know you're crazy. I'll be there for you to hear you call my name. I can work around you. I wanna make these calls alone. I know I can't be a full-time baby, so let me be your part-time job, yeah. If you don't mind, if you don't mind, I'll do you just fine. I can be a part. I'm just a man who comes around at night. And to leave a girl, baby, that ain't right. You call me over, give me sexy talk. After things are over, you tell me take a walk, girl. If you think I'm playing too close, I just want to be loving you, girl. In the beginning, let's start again together, you and I. All the time has passed, my love for you will never ever die. It's been so long to tell you how I feel, but I want you to know that my love's for real and it's alright. It's gonna be alright, alright, alright. It's gonna be alright, alright. Now the time has changed, my love for you will remain the same. But it's been so hard, and I promise we can make our way this story. No, 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 no. But it's been so hard to tell you how I feel. But I want you to know that my love's for real, and it's alright. It's gonna be alright, alright, alright. It's gonna be alright, alright. Alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Won't you sing it today? It's so hard to tell you how I feel, but I want you to know that my love for real. It's gonna be alright, alright. Oh yeah. It's gonna be alright, alright. What up? What up? What up? What's happening? How y'all doing this morning, man? I'm gonna go ahead and start this video off by saying this. OG Bobby Johnson, of course. I'm not OG Bobby Johnson. I ain't trying to be funny. Anyway, check this out, man. So I want all the Africans and
Jamaicans, and Haitians, and all the people from different countries. I want y'all to understand this is not a video to take a jab at you guys. I have nothing but the utmost respect and love for people from other countries that are black. I have no problem with y'all, okay? Don't take this video as a jab or disrespect or anything. In fact, I've always said on my channel that I admire the hard work and discipline that a lot of African immigrants tend to show when they come to America, right? Haitians, whatever, right? So this video is never meant as a jab, because I'm gonna say some things that some of them might take offense to. It is not because I'm being disrespectful or anything, but what I'm saying is I'm going to point out certain truths about the reality of the relationship between African Americans and immigrants. African Americans, and not just immigrants, but people in these countries, right? And how things are, the realities of it. And we have, as African Americans, have been indoctrinated and taught certain things by our own people, not just by, I could get into some engineering and stuff like that, but we're gonna get into that. So I'm gonna go into a Black Patriarch video, and I'm gonna go to the 60s, which it made sense in the early 20th century to think like this, because all over the world you were dealing with colonialism and all that. So it made sense. What's up, T. Kelly? It made sense at the time for us to operate the way we did, right? Now I'm gonna read this because Black Patriarch doesn't really comment on his videos. You have to read it, which is amazing that the brother didn't even comment and his damn channel got deleted. That's just amazing. That's amazing to me. Not one comment and his channel got deleted by just typing words. Not offensive words, no disrespect, just pointing out inconvenient truths about the small hats. None of those videos are on here right now. None of the videos where he really went in on them are on. He got little small pieces, but it ain't nowhere near where it was. He had a video on the porn industry. That shit was a masterpiece. I will give you that. He delved deep into that shit. I'm not like into porn like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So let's look at this, right? It says African Americans have been living in a country where people must define themselves primarily by their racial identity, right? But they totally ignore the fact that people all over the world don't define themselves that way. But to understand why African Americans are so ignorant about this reality, we have to go back to the past. And this is what I want to do. I want to show y'all something. Then it started in the beginning of the 20th century when a Jamaican man named Marcus Garvey founded the Universal Negro Improvement Society.
Marcus Garvey wanted to return African Americans to Africa to create a vibrant Black nation, empowered through economic independence. Although some of his goals were controversial, his crusade would inspire leaders from Malcolm X to Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela.
Garvey was certainly a controversial figure, but the concepts that we now think of as Black nationalism and Black pride started with Garvey's pronouncements.
Although Garvey was a flawed leader, he's someone who is really important to the history of the Black radical tradition. He was probably one of the strongest voices of Black nationalism in history.
He says at the time, Black race as a whole was living under white oppression all over the world, colonialism, apartheid in Africa, segregation in America. So it became logical for many African American intellectuals to unite with other Blacks around the world to fight against white supremacy. And this is the best point right here. It became logical for many African American intellectuals, us, to unite with other Blacks around the world, around the globe, to fight against white supremacy. This is the beginning of the Pan-African movement.
Also, during the first half of the 20th century, black intellectuals such as Sylvester Williams, W.E.B. Du Bois, and George Padmore organized a series of Pan-African conferences which called for the elimination of colonialist domination in Africa. Whether Mozambique or Philadelphia or Alabama, we suffer from the same oppression and exploitation. Common oppression demands a common solution. On May 27th, 60,000 black people demonstrated the solidarity which we have for our brothers and sisters waging armed national liberation struggles on the continent. This massive demonstration of African solidarity proved to be the largest of its kind since those organized by the Universal Negro Improvement Association in the 1920s.
It's a Pan-African movement started by Marcus Garvey, continued several decades later to the Black Power movement of the 1960s.
America's blacks were no longer in hiding. They were on the march, proud of their color and of their origins, with their African clothes and their afro hair, and with a funky extravagance that told the white man to go to hell with his good taste, his suits, and his morals.
Actually, African American predates Jesse Jackson. I saw around the time of Garvey, people were calling it that. So I actually saw it in writing in a newspaper ad, in a newspaper. So it actually exists. It predates Jesse Jackson. He made it. He popularized it.
The whole world know that we are going to pick our heroes from today on.
The black body was on show everywhere, increasingly unclothed, more and more voluptuous, more and more free. And this liberty was a declaration, an insolent affirmation of the individuality of a whole people.
It's also the way of black people to fight against the negative stereotypes promoted by the white media, as explained by Malcolm X.
Although thousands of our people showed support for these national liberation struggles on May 27th, there are still millions of us who fail to realize the importance of Africa. Part of the answer to this important problem of identification.
And I get it. I get why we did that at the time. I get exactly why we did that. And it's not, that's what I'm saying. And to this day, I always say I have Pan-African leanings. I want what's best for Africa, Haiti, whatever. If I don't get a dime from that shit, it don't got nothing to do with me. I would love to see Africa rise up economically. I would love to see Haiti, Jamaica, all of them rise up, kick the Chinese out of their bullshit and just get them up out of there and just say, you know what? Let's have our own shit. Let's build. Let's be African first. Let's be, Jamaican first. Let's be whatever, right?
Was pointed out by Brother Malcolm X in his last recorded speech.
Up until 1959, Africa was dominated by the colonial powers, and by the colonial powers of Europe having complete control over Africa, they projected the image of Africa negatively. They projected Africa always in a negative light. Jungle, savage, animal, nothing civilized. And naturally, it was so negative until it was negative to you and me. And you and I began to hate it. We didn't want anybody to tell us anything about Africa, much less call us an African. And in hating Africa and hating the African, we ended up even hating ourselves without even realizing it. Because you can't hate the roots of a tree and not hate the tree. You can't hate your oil and not end up hating yourself.
So it was during that time many people in the conscious community started wearing dashikis, kente cloths, and African medallions. Now this is the part that's gonna get real juicy. Let's keep going.
Africa under siege. All right. I have maintained that for 3,000 years.
Now he pretty much right outside Montgomery, Union Springs, Alabama, right? John Henry Clark.
Africa has been.
He pretty much like me. He a country boy like me. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
under siege.
So that's why you can give it back to you. Make sure that you get the right copy of everything. But I have to
Steve Coakley, African clothing.
protect them. Not that anything could happen to them, but as you can see, they don't do it. They know I've argued with them. These are my friends.
Our Harlem community come out and hear that. One of the major issues that our people actually.
This brother, one of my favorite, Irritated Genie, gone. They got rid of him, but still remember, still a great. He had a lot of great knowledge, but listen to him.
The major weapon of war,
African clothing.
warfare against African people on this planet today is real simple. They're trying to disgender our people and turn us into homosexuals.
So we can follow her over in Europe.
I mean, we got Ufatunde, right? Umar Johnson, right?
Thomas Jefferson, the great statesman. You see? And one of his half-black children.
So we as African Americans have a long heritage, especially through the conscious community, of embracing that and trying to represent that.
That was born through raping a woman, ran away.
Right? It says, and since then, many in the conscious Black community have popularized the idea that we are part of a unified Black nation around the globe. Good morning. Good morning. And this ideology has spread through the Black community, and we could feel its influence in African American culture. Check this shit out right here. We have been conditioned to believe that all Black people are connected to Africa by decades of Black movies, Black TV shows, and Black music. Let's keep going. Watch this shit. This is interesting.
The greatest event in television history continues. With Roots, the next generations.
You got to know where you come from.
Apollio Kunta Kinte!
White man is European and black man is African.
We also made fairy tale movies presenting Africa and Africans in a very positive light.
Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, lived a handsome prince.
I want a woman that's going to arouse my intellect as well as my loins.
Where will you find such a woman?
In America.
Coming to America.
Also remember back in the late 80s, several episodes of A Different World denouncing the apartheid system in South Africa. Now, this shit is embarrassing to watch today, but let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Like what Kobe and Malika said, I suggest we ask Hillman to put Orange Glow on a timetable to withdraw from South Africa.
The problem is their timetable is not the same as ours.
And what is this, 1944? I'm going to come back. But the beginning of this video is great, and it talks about La La Land and how African Americans are living in La La Land, right? And let's go right here.
America is a land of immigrants, despite what you might hear in some political context now. But we're going to be focusing specifically on Black immigrants in New York City. First slide up here, I can let you know about immigration demographics. There are some 3.8 million foreign-born Blacks who now live in the United States. Now, the number of African-born immigrants has doubled every 10 years since 1980. And from 1980 to 2013, the percentage of foreign-born Blacks among the overall Black population rose from about 3.1% to 8.7%.
I spend all day wasting my time. I just want to lose time.
And so that little show that I'm watching, it's got snippets in there where people are saying that we need to represent them in politics and whoop. That's going to be problematic for African Americans. It's not that it's going to be, it is. It's problematic. No disrespect to any African or Haitian or whatever immigrant. Their desires and needs and what they desire when they come to America does not align with African American. All right? And it comes from that shit I just showed you. That programming. Let me go back. Let me go back to it. Let's go back to where it was. Right?
Like what Kobe and Malika said, I
see when you grow up watching shit like this and thinking like this, because I did too. I listened to a lot of the hip hop music back in the day. It kind of had us thinking like that. And a lot of us are different. Not hating on them. Like I said, we're different. We don't have the same desires and everything.
Just we ask Human to put Orange Glow on a timetable to withdraw from South Africa.
The problem is their timetable is not the same as ours.
I mean, this looks bad, and I'm gonna tell you why. To me, if you're from Alabama, if your folks from Mississippi, and your people were slaves, and your ass ain't been to Africa ever, you don't even know anything about it, and you do stuff like that, it's cool to embrace the culture. It's even cool to do the dance. I'm not saying we can't do it, but just understand we're different, and we have different desires, different needs, different wants as African Americans versus immigrants. We just do, man. And I think that needs to be recognized, because politically what has happened is if you go back and look into this, they have taken over the political landscape, guys. Immigrants, we have a higher concentration of immigrant representation than anything else as far as our politicians. And that's problematic, because I'm telling you, damn near all the politicians you see are not the descendants of slaves. All the ones of note. You got a few, but most of them ain't even from America. They immigrants, most of them. And so they're not represented. So when you talk about reparations, they don't give a shit about reparations, guys. They're not supposed to get none. They can't even make that argument. That's like sending me up to Washington trying to get me to represent for the LGBT movement. You ain't gonna get a motherfucking thing from me if you want me to represent for the LGBT movement. You better send one of y'all people, because if I go, you ain't getting the motherfucking thing. Shit, I'm gonna take your ass back to the 40s if I can help it. That's me. Since as a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the African Americans, white people would still continue to represent Africans as savages in their movie today. Facts. And some African Americans have decided to go as far as leaving the U.S. and move to Africa, changing their slave name to Africans' names.
This West African coastline is where millions of people were shipped out as slaves to the Americans. Well, it's 200 years since Britain abolished its slave trade, but the impact has never ended. Now, thousands of descendants of those Africans sent out in chains are coming home to the land of their ancestors. Many African Americans come here as a spiritual pilgrimage, never intending to stay. They came of age in the heady civil rights struggle of the 1960s, amid a growing sense of Pan-African nationalism. Their children thought they were crazy.
Well, they were angry for a long time. That hurt. That really, really hurt. But the opportunity to return to the land of one's ancestors.
Now, let me say this. If you African American and you move to Africa, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with them moving here. I really don't. But when they come here, just understand, they're not coming here thinking, I'm going to matriculate into the African. A lot of them don't. Now, the ones I've seen that really fuck with us the most are Jamaicans. I don't know why, but Jamaicans seem to be the coolest motherfuckers you ever want to meet. I don't see a lot of them kind of saying, fuck y'all, I ain't one of y'all. Like, you see some of them, but for the most part, Jamaicans tend to come over here and blend right into the African American culture and experience, and they identify with it for the most part. Some Africans do, but some Africans don't. Some Africans come over here and just be like, you lazy acatas, you know. It is what it is, man. So it is what it is, you know. If I go over to Africa, one thing I'm gonna be is respectful to the people of Africa. One thing I would do, I wouldn't shit on them and drag them like that. Like, I wouldn't. I just would not go to Africa and shit on them, even though I see some incompetent shit going on in Africa by the people of Africa. I wouldn't dare fix my mouth and be dragging them. You guys are this. I wouldn't do that shit. Living in their country off the shit they built, you know, even if it is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Just out of respect. It's like going in somebody's house and not wiping your feet on the rug and telling them you ain't shit. Your house stink. Nigga, you need to clean up. Bitch, you in my house. See what I'm saying? That's the energy that a lot of people have. Now, some of my best students, some of my closest students are descendants, or should I say children of African immigrants, or they're African themselves. So like I said, this video is meant from a place of respect and love. I'm not coming from a place of disrespect, but I'm going to show y'all something about Africa in a second. Let's keep going.
Ancestors, to be able to make that real connection with who it is that you are, your true identity, the sacrifice of family was worth it.
Listen, I don't hate Africans. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a ill feeling towards them. And I'm reading y'all comments. I didn't read what he said. Let me go back. Ooh, right here. Now I understand that some African Americans want to relate to Africa, but some go too far by denying their own African American culture. Same thing you guys are typing, right? As if African American culture is somewhat, now hear this, now check this shit out right here. This is some deep shit right here. He said, as if African American culture is somewhat inauthentic, as if they feel ashamed of being descendants of slaves. Personally, I'm not, and I'm not ashamed either. My great-great-grandfather's named Carter. My great-grandfather's Daniel from my dad's side, right? Proud of him. Carter was a sharecropper. Daniel was a preacher. I'm not ashamed of none of that. I think Carter was born a slave. So everything that's coming from Africa is automatically better because it's authentic, which as a result creates a culture of self-hate. Now this brother is, that's why I love Black Patriarch's video. Black Patriarch is a juggernaut, bro. Intellectual juggernaut. I love his channel. Please go subscribe. That's why you see me dropping some of his videos sometimes. I don't do that for most people. I only got 2 people I've done that for, right? Black Men Taking Back Our Community, Black Patriarch. Those are the main 2 I've done. Only 2 I did that for. But this brother is really smart, real smart, high IQ brother. I can tell just by what he put. And never heard his voice, right? You know, but check this out. He's saying that, you know, we're saying that our culture is somewhat inferior because it's not African. And I see a lot of that. That's what the white man taught you. That's Eurocentric to be a husband, right? To raise your kids, man. That's a European concept. Ain't that what Nick Cannon said? Let's go. Malcolm X is one of the ones that fuck with us. See, that's why I don't have them. That's why I can't just 100% throw out all immigrants and shit on them. I can't do that. Malcolm X came over here and identified with the American culture, and he contributed to the culture. He didn't say, them ain't my people, I'm from Grenada. He didn't do that. And that was his mom anyway, right? He was actually a descendant of slaves, truth be told, on his dad's side. So technically, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, if Malcolm were to just say, I'm half Grenadan or 25% Grenadan or whatever, then the hell with it. However that work, I don't know, 50%, whatever. You know, then yeah, he probably would have done that, but he didn't do that, did he? Malcolm embraced his heritage as an African American descendant of slaves, and he had a love for his people. So I don't drag all immigrants. Some immigrants that come over here and fuck with us hard. So I don't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? They come over here and they deal with our issues, they talk about our issues, and they fight for our issues, even though they may be immigrants. So I have no problem. You can't have an ally from Africa, from any country. That is possible, right? Just like I could go to Africa and try to, do things that benefit and build up African infrastructure. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Yeah, I got Indian, but I don't, you'll never hear me talk about it. Cherokee, but I don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm black. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. While African Americans today still live in the 1960s, mentally, we do, and still believe in black unity, the rest of the world since then has completely changed.
700 kilometers long. It's meant to separate Kenya and Somalia from point 1 up here in Mandera down to Kionga in Lamu County.
Well, see, it's funny you say that, because watch what this brother say. He was born and raised in Baltimore, but his parents are from Nigeria, both of them. So you gotta understand, when you're in a house with somebody that's from Nigeria, depending on how they look at us, it depends. See what I'm saying? Some Issa Rae and what's the name of them, they born here, but they talk like different about, they look at themselves completely different than us. They don't think they one of us. They literally say that.
County. Kenya says the wall will secure their porous shared border and keep terrorists out.
The government insists the construction of the wall will go on despite protests by the Somali president.
So the Somalia and Kenya are trying to put up a border between them because they don't fuck with each other like that. In Africa, I'll be damned. Didn't know that.
We are building the wall on our side. This is Kenyan territory where we are now. Anything above, beyond this point is Somalia. We're not building any wall in Somalia, we're building our wall in Kenya.
According to Interior Ministry spokesperson Mwenda Njoka, the wall won't be purely a 800-kilometer brick and mortar affair. Rather, according to Njoka, it will include a physical wall made of steel and concrete, some sections of barbed electric fence, and deep trenches on the outward side of the border.
Look at this shit. They put people on fire over in South. Y'all see that shit? They don't fuck around with their immigrants. See this? And we think we just gonna take our ass over there in massive numbers. All these brothers and sisters on the internet talking about going to Africa. We need to go back. If all black people left America and went back to Africa, some of these brothers will have an orgasm. Oh, it's gonna be so great. It's gonna be so this, it's so that. A lot of us are Christian. A lot of us ain't Muslim. We take our ass over there. Here come Boko Haram. Y'all hotel countries, brothers go over there. They'll show up at your children's school. You can be talking about African this, African that, all you want to. They call your ass what they call Abdul Kafa, and they will cut their heads off and burn their ass at the stake, fucking around with Boko Haram. See, you gotta be, this shit is way more complex than we try to make it. It's not that damn simple. Africa unites. Look, I love the African songs. I love Bob Marley. Love him. I love the song. But at the end of the day, you gotta be smart. You gotta think. Is it smart when these folks killing each other like that for us to think we're gonna take our ass back to Africa and just be embraced with loving care? No.
Just last month, 35-year-old Mozambican Ernesto Alfabeto Namoave was burnt to death in a mob attack. The attacks are being driven by resentment towards new immigrants, who many poor South Africans believe are taking away their...
They'll set this man on fire and burned his ass, put a tie around his neck, poured gas in and lit him on fire. Now that's some creative shit there. That's creative as hell. Damn, I ain't gonna, I just shoot you before I do you like that. That's some dirty shit there, boy. I've been burned before. Let me tell you, that's one of the worst experiences is getting burned. Let me tell you something. I had my legs burnt. That shit, boy, they got to scrub all that skin around his neck and face to get that shit to heal right. They got to scrub it. And that shit hurt, man. So you gotta be smart. You know what I'm saying? Like this embracing, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not shitting on African immigrants. I'm really not, guys. I bet y'all, some Africans like, oh damn, he's so just distancing himself from. I'm not distancing myself from you. You're welcome to come to the class. You're welcome. We can be friends. I love on you. Some of my closest friends was immigrants. Okay. Shout out to my friends from Senegal, Nagadef. Right. I'm not wondering. I come by the house, eat all that shit, but we not the same. That's all. That shouldn't offend us to understand and recognize that we're not the same people. We're not.
Jobs and housing.
Yeah, I've been to Africa. I've been to Ethiopia. I've been to Kenya. I was treated great too. I didn't say that. See that? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that maybe some of y'all came late. Let me say, I started the video off by saying this is in no way indicative of hatred or anything towards Africans or towards Haitians or Jamaicans. It's not like that. But what it is indicative of is just that we're not the same. We don't have the same interests in many cases. We don't. And so we need to remind ourselves of that and understand that, right? Because we're electing immigrants to represent us, right? Like that girl from Somalia that's up there in, what's her name? That girl ain't got nothing to do with Ilhan Omar. Black folks love her. Be posting, yeah, Ilhan Omar. That chick don't fuck with us, especially Ethiopians. Oh my God. Ethiopian immigrants, shit. Ethiopian immigrants, a lot of them immigrants that come from Ethiopia they don't fuck with Africa, let alone, listen, you want to talk about somebody that really don't fuck with their own people, Ethiopia. When they come here, when I say own, I mean African. They don't, bro, they look at us like they with a disdain and hatred that's different. I told y'all I was on a project. And I got in the classroom and I looked at the guy. I know he was Ethiopian because I've been there. And he went at me hard as hell the second day I got there, trying to humiliate me in front of everybody. I never forgot that shit. Ethiopian. He hated my fucking guts. 3 or 4 times in meetings, he would just call me out and try to humiliate me. For fucking nothing. Just because he was racist towards my ass because I'm black and I'm African American. He felt like I didn't belong. He pretty much said that. Did not fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? And now I know why. I'm way more understanding of that shit now because I've been around a lot of them and I've had conversations. Because see, when I see one, I say, oh, Danana Nesh. Y'all start talking to him in Amharic and shit, right? And I say a few words. I don't know a lot, but I say a few words. And this thing, we talking and shit. And I've been to Ethiopia. I hung out on Bowley Road. I was at Axum Hotel. I stayed at there. I stayed at the Sheraton. And then I went to where else I told him I stayed at. I stayed there. That was $250 a night. Other place. But I went to a couple of places over there. I hung out. I was at London Cafe, but I don't think they done closed it down now. But I used to hang out at London Cafe, the place with a little airplane. I hung out in Ethiopia. Had the Injera. Went to Blue Talk Cafe. All that shit, man. I hung out in Africa, right? Every day. We was out till morning, every day partying, right? Got it. I loved it. But that being said, that puts them at ease. And then we start talking. And they tell me to my face how they really feel, some of them. Because some Africans, I had this one guy, I never forgot, he had a nose full of boogers too. This shit was crazy. Nose full of nothing but boogers, right? So I saw him, I was at the bank, I was at Regis Bank. I said, hey, how you doing? Where you from? Nigeria. Like that. That's how he said it. I said, oh, okay. I said, okay, what tribe you from? Why? Why do you want to know my tribe? What business is that of yours? I was like, excuse me, I've been to Africa. I just thought, it's a lot of times when I see Africans, that same thing happened to me in New York when I got in the taxi. Dude got upset. By the time we got out that damn cab, we had a damn hour long. He stopped, clocked out. We sat there and talked about all this shit in Africa, especially back then because I was dating a Nigerian at the time. So we had a real deep conversation about all types of shit. But at first he told me, he said, I thought you was going to make fun of me. A lot of Africans are ignorant. A lot of African Americans are ignorant. This is what they think. I thought you was like, why would I make fun of you? I've been there. I don't look at it like that. But this is how, so you got to understand, they don't know us. We don't know them. A lot of us don't know them. So it's kind of a apprehensive thing. So when they get here, they gravitate towards the white community. That's why you see African immigrants marrying and dating white folks. Because of all the imagery And all the what does America ship out? Hip hop music. They ship out, you know, Lil Nas X. That's what the world see as black men in America right now is Lil Nas X. They see he's selling millions of records and they think we fuck with Lil Nas X. That's what they think. You see what I'm saying? They don't know that we don't fuck with that shit. That his sales are fake primarily. I guarantee you his sales are fake. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. A lot of white folks ain't fucking with him. Niggas ain't fucking with him. I'm like, how he selling all these millions of records? Who buying this shit? What nigga you seen gonna be bumping some shit like that ain't a pillow biter, right? I wouldn't be caught dead with that shit. I ain't never heard that shit on the radio, nothing. Nowhere. Don't nobody play that shit. I'm like, what? How he getting all this record label?
As the violence has escalated, so too has the desperation amongst the immigrants being hunted.
See, and people like this brother here's trying to be funny, but this is why they come and they listen to the Black Manosphere and they listen to brothers like Maurice Speaks the Beast. And he's saying he hate his own people. So they're like, well, shit, why would I fuck with African Americans? Listen, the women think the same thing about your ass. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they just talking about black women, but just understand that. They talking about your ass. They talking about your trifling ass. That's how they think of us. Like we trifling, lazy, black men ain't shit. That's what they think. You lazy, you don't want a job, you're unproductive, you can't produce shit, you either sell drugs, you think everything is racism, you lazy. This is the type of shit that they think, see? So it's not, and listen, like I said, this is not a jab against anybody that is a student or anybody that I know. In fact, this isn't personal. This is what they think of us through media. What's fed, what's given of us, what image is projected of us.
Hunted.
Somalians, foreigners, they've gone 8,000 go back home. And there was the word that foreign nationals are contributing to crime.
Well, they talking about the foreign nationals. Now, they're not talking about Africans. They don't think like that. They call them foreign nationals.
To South Africa. Is it only them?
They're contributing to the crime in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? So them motherfuckers, they like, oh, you motherfuckers coming out here selling drugs. Y'all niggas ain't up to no good. Fuck y'all. That's how they think.
Contributing to crime, and South Africa is also contributing to crime.
These people are not paying tax. These people are not paying tax. We are always working hard.
So they saying they working hard. They making them pay higher taxes. These people aren't paying taxes. See shit like that. And you think you're gonna bring your ass over there? This is what get me about us as African Americans. This shit is way complex. You think you're gonna bring your ass over there with some niggas that's talking like that? You're American? Hey, my brother, they don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with you. You a kata. That's what they gonna say. So you gotta be careful. Some of them cool in the motherfucker. I'm not shitting. I've been to Africa too. A lot of them are cool as hell. I'm not shitting on them. A lot of them, when you go over there and they know you're American, they think you're gonna do something for them and shit like that. So when you talk about getting treated right, especially the way we dress, flashy and shit like that, they know we ain't from there. All the different colognes and shit you wearing, you got your nice ass white crispy $200 sneakers on and shit like that's what I was wearing when I was over there. You know, I'm wearing my nice shit, my jerseys and shit. This was back in the day. I wore a jersey and shit. Everybody knew I wasn't from that motherfucker. Right, everywhere we went, they bribing the taxi driver had got bribed and shit. Police pull him over. He got the taxi driver. He asking me for money. I got to give him money because he getting bribed by the police when he saw he had American, like that type of shit. So it's different dynamics, and we think we get treated nice, and we mistake the fact that we're from an ultra wealthy country, and these people are broke, and they don't treat us that way because they see. But I know a lot of broke ass niggas living over in the bush over that motherfucker, and they ain't treated like that. They don't treat them like that.
For our children, for our parents, but this guy doesn't pay tax. We pay tax.
I'm not mixing African with Nigerian. I'm just telling you, period, across the board, black people have romanticized Africa, and I'm saying that African and not just Africa, but a lot of these immigrants. A lot of people from foreign nations, other nations that are black, that look like us, that have our phenotype, don't see themselves as like us, especially in America. When they come to America, we are completely fucking different. That's what I'm saying. Not, yeah, but these Africans ain't just talking about Nigerians in that video, those South Africans. They were talking about All they said foreign nationals, anybody that ain't from South Africa originally, they can look just like them though. But if you from Nigeria, you from other nations, it is what it is.
I think you have to have heart. You have to have, humanity. But you have
Okay, y'all just talking about Nigeria. Let's keep going. We got the Bahamas right here. What's up with the Bahamas? Let's go.
to address.
I need y'all to understand this shit it ain't just South. Okay, well that's just South Africa. They killing each other. The Rwandans, y'all seen what happened with the Rwandans? 1 million of them. They kill each other, bro. This shit. I'm not trying to bash Africa. I'm not trying to say all of Africa's fucked up. I'm not trying to tell you not to move to Africa. I'm not trying to say none of that shit. But I'm not going to romanticize Africa. Oh, it's not like, no. But the Pan-African brothers don't want to hear that shit. See, they want you to think that you move your ass over there and it's going to be hunky-dory. Everybody's going to love you. No, you can go certain places and get fucked up. The people don't fuck with you like that as an immigrant. Your kid might catch hell at school. I'm just telling you. You got to be careful and understand that shit. If they took African Americans, gave us all $150,000 and said, you get $150,000, you move tonight wherever in the middle of Africa, they carve out a new nation for us. And they throw our ass over in the middle of Africa. How long do y'all think it's going to be for some warlord come over in that bitch with tanks and guns and shit and start cutting out women's breasts off and burning out boys at the stake and shooting them and shit, trying to convert them to Islam or, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, how long y'all think that's going to be? You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, hey, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not listening. And this is no disrespect. There's a lot of people that's Nigerian immigrants. Immigrants fuck with me because they listen to my channel. Some of them come to my school. So I'm not shitting on them. Obviously, if you think this is offensive because you're not from America, you're not a descendant of slaves, and you're offensive, you think I'm being mean. I hadn't said anything derogatory or disrespectful. What I've said, I've told the truth, though. I do think that there are parts of Africa that if you move to it, I don't give a fuck where you from, right? You could be African and move to certain parts of Africa and get fucked up. We've seen it, right? So you got to be very mindful of that shit. It's nothing for them to kill 1 million people. In the 90s, when they killed 1 million Rwandans, I didn't even hear about that shit. How about y'all? I never heard about them killing 1 million Rwandans till later. That shit went until like the 2000s when I heard about that shit. Damn, they killed 1 million? That shit didn't even make national news. I'm sorry. It just didn't. You think if we take our ass over there, the world would give a fuck if some African warlord wanted to come in that bitch and kill us because he don't like our westernized democratic ways of thinking? He wants us under Sharia law. Or he thinks this, and he gonna come in that bitch with machine guns and machetes and shit like that. Are we prepared? You know what I'm saying? Are we prepared for that shit? Because you send African Americans to Africa, you better send us over there with nukes, fighter jets, Black Hawks, tanks, all that shit. You better do it, because if you don't, we would get fucked up over there. Not because people, that's just human nature. It ain't got nothing to do with our skin color and they hate us. I'm telling you, they can look just like us, but they don't think like us. We need to be really cognizant of this shit and not think that, oh man, thinking like how they taught us by watching A Different World and television shows and shit about we need to divest. And what made me bring this video up, I was just watching School Days. I got up early this morning, got my son ready. I put on School Days because I love the movie and I hadn't seen it in a while. And at the beginning, I saw Lawrence Fishburne's character, Dap, up there talking about we must divest. I'm going to stop African Americans from getting educated if we don't divest. And I remember that was a big deal back in the 80s, right? Before Mandela got freed and stuff like that. What's up, Q? You know what I'm saying? And so I saw it and I was like, damn, I have a different opinion. Like, you shouldn't stop brothers and sisters from getting their degrees in education, especially depending on what they majored in, especially. Now, it might do some of them some good if you stop them, but that's another video. But at the same time, you shouldn't stop brothers and sisters from getting their education at this fictional mission college because you felt like we needed to divest from people that probably didn't really truly fuck with us. Those were our brothers and sisters, and I was glad that they stopped. They ended apartheid. I still am. I won't see no shit like that. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't think our brothers and sisters, I would love to see Africans in a strong financial position. I would love to see Africa rise up. I would love to see the Jamaica get the Chinese out that bitch and do what they're supposed to do. You need to get rid of Michael Lee Chin, that billionaire from Canada that's half Chinese, that's Jamaican. Get rid of his ass. He is a big reason the Chinese over there now finna take that bitch over because he's an immigrant. He's half Chinese, half Jamaican, but he of course he gonna identify with his Chinese heritage. Strong, right? He went to Canada, got up on his money game, and he got the Chinese coming all over there and they taking over Jamaica left and right. Right? This is what happens when you have children of immigrants, especially from a nation or a culture or a group of people that are stronger than your group of people. Then that child is probably, that's what's gonna happen in Africa. You're gonna have half black Chinese kids over there. In about 20 years, they're gonna be taking that bitch over and they're gonna be making sure China is preeminent. You have to speak Mandarin in Africa all over in a minute. That's what's about to happen, right? Because China's strong, Africa's weak. And that's just like if me and you got a partnership in a business deal, right? And I got all the fucking money and you ain't got shit, right? And you want to do a deal with me and you want me to do something and I want you to do something different. Well, guess what? I can twist your arm because I got the money, you don't. That's what's going on with China right now over in Africa. They twisting their arm. They forcing them to do what they want them to do. Right now, they call it, they have a Japanese Mandarin or Cantonese term. And it's like, it basically translates to peaceful colonization. That's literally what they call it. Peaceful colonization. That is what the Chinese call it. They making an ass out of Africa right now. But look, they building bridges. They're building roads. Yeah, so they can build a road straight in through China. Right on through Afghanistan and all that shit, right up in China. Take all your resources, ship that shit straight on up to China. That's what they doing. And you ain't got the muscle to get them motherfuckers out now. You better do it now while y'all got the numbers. Get their ass out of there. But they not. A lot of these African nations can kick their ass out of there. See, I want what's best for them. But we aren't the same. I do remember we are not the same.
The situation out of kids born here.
It's this strong comment made by Haitian Ambassador Antonio Rodrigue during Monday's edition of the Bahamas Tonight that has outright offended many Bahamians who are now calling for the Haitian diplomat to be recalled immediately.
In our country, we are doing them a favor, right? And by doing them a favor, they're supposed to humble.
They need to go back where they're from. And they're too bigoted. The Haitians have their country. The Bahamians have their country. And it is our country, and we could decide how we want to run our affairs, how our government could give them privilege to have Flag Day in the Bahamas. On top of that, they actually disfigured our flag by burning it. They also had parades for their various leaders in the Bahamas. When most of them come here.
I mean, where's this Pan-African energy? I just don't see it. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't see it. They like, get your ass out of here, Haitians, right? This ain't just Nigeria and South Africa. This shit is everywhere.
Here, they've already gotten everything free. I mean, some of them at the height, they owned restaurants and fruit stands and all of this stuff. Why not?
Look at this. I'm from Jamaica. My mom brought my sister and I in the mid-70s. What you are saying is true. Black immigrants who come here when their children understand the black experience better, they live it. That's what I'm saying. I always feel like from my past experience, Jamaicans for some reason identify, I think it's because of Garvey. I really do. They look up to Garvey, and Garvey was more on the Pan-African tip. He's one of theirs, and so they come over here with a different perspective. They do. Most of them. Some of them be like, fuck you Americans, bitch, I'm from Jamaica. You still got that going on, but the Jamaicans seem to be the coolest ones from my experience. But like I said, I don't, not shitting on anybody from any other nation. I'm just saying I'm not shitting on nobody's nation, not disrespecting anybody's nation. I'm saying what I'm doing is showing how splintered we are as people. And it behooves us as African Americans to be smart.
Have them pay their own ticket back.
When you come into this country legal, then you have your children, they born here illegal. You understand? It becomes now a burden on the country that they exist in.
And while the public outcry on the Haitian ambassador's comments continue to mount even on social media, Immigration Department officials continue to spread the message that if you are not legally living or working here in the Bahamas, you must return to your homeland.
Additionally, there are many Bahamians who feel that governments of the day took far too long to deal with this immigration problem, which has enabled illegal migrants to feel that they are more than equal in this country.
It says in Nigeria, they're fighting and killing each other because they come from different ethnic and religious groups. Kenya, they building a damn huge ass border because they still can't stand the Somalian immigrants coming to their country. You think they're gonna fuck with us though, right? That's what we think. In the Bahamas, the government is deporting Haitian immigrants because Bahamians can't stand their presence any longer. South Africans are killing black illegals coming to their country because they take their jobs, don't pay taxes, and sell drugs in their neighborhoods. But you want me to believe that in the U.S. we're going to, quote, come together, unquote, with these black immigrants just because we have the same skin color?
Let's get them old dashikis y'all love so much. Come on. Y'all just as silly as you can be. Take one trip to Africa.
Damn good point. If black people are going to take their ass back to Africa, you better be armed to the teeth. You better be the most powerful military nation in that bitch. I'm not saying go over there and fuck with people. I'm not for trying to subjugate the rest of Africa. That'll be some fuck shit. Leave them folks alone. But if we did have a nation where we were able to go back to, and we come, even most of the time when they tell you, hey, come back, you better bring something. They don't want you coming back empty-handed. They'll tell you that shit. They don't want you bringing your unskilled ass over there. They don't need you. I did a video about that shit. We don't need them. We don't need them here. We don't need them coming here. That was an African guy. This lady asked him. She said, but those are our brothers. They've been gone. They are not African. They have been gone. They are American. That's how they think. And you think you finna just remove that shit? No, brother. I love you. You're my brother. No.
And your eyes will open up. Go to the Sudan. 60 ethnic groups live in the Sudan. 60. And some of them is in slavery on the other half. 60. And them 60 groups all hate each other. All got different language. All got different cultures. They ain't sitting around in one happy family. The only people you can tell that story to is somebody who don't believe in who don't know who they are. You couldn't tell that story to somebody who know who they are.
As a matter of fact, I came by a video made by a Nigerian YouTuber who tries to explain to African Americans how Africa truly is. Watch this shit.
I was born in Washington, D.C. and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. But my parents, they were born in Nigeria. First of all, I want to also state that Africans are not all the same people. It's not like the United States, you know what I'm saying, where everybody is one people and we call ourselves all Americans or whatever. In Africa, they have different countries, you know what I'm saying? So you have different people and within these countries, you know what I'm saying, they have different peoples within the country. You know what I'm saying? Nigeria have over 200 different dialects, you know what I'm saying? Whereas though you have some people that speak Yoruba, you got some people that speak Hausa, you got some people that speak Igbo, you know what I'm saying? And then they have their little sub dialects, you know what I'm saying? Even my people are Yoruba people, but they speak Indo, you know what I'm saying? That's a different dialect from Yoruba, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of understanding that you have to, when you deal with Africans. People are not taught these things, you know what I'm saying? You don't know, you know what I'm saying? And as far as the Caucasians in this land, they have put everybody into one big group. and they put us all into Africans. You know what I'm saying? And that's total error right there. You know what I'm saying? It's totally wrong. You know what I mean?
And so that's what I'm saying. So when we elect people from these nations, hold on one second. I hit you back, fam. Give me a few minutes. All right. When we elect people from foreign nations, born or you raised in a house with immigrants, they're gonna think a different way. Like if I were to ask, not every immigrant is gonna give a shit about reparations for the descendants of slaves in America. That's just, they don't give a fuck, right? Have the politicians you see that's against, that'll say, oh, we're not gonna get that. We're not gonna get reparations. Barack Obama didn't give a fuck about reparations because he wouldn't get shit anyway. He wouldn't get a dime, so why would he give? But y'all thought he gonna do reparations. Y'all gotta understand this shit way deeper than that. He don't give a fuck. You put a nigga like me up there, but you wouldn't vote for me because I'll probably run as a Republican, truth be told, if I did run. Or independent. But they'll, he's a conservative, and you know what that means. You know what that means. He's a coon. He's a Republican, and he just doesn't want to say it. That's why he ran as independent, that type of shit, right? So you wouldn't vote for me. But I'm just telling you, you need somebody to get in there who understands this. But those people aren't the ones that have the power in the Democrat Party. The people that have the power, the people that run it, their parents are from foreign countries or they was themselves born in a foreign nation. Ilhan Omar is going to run the Democrat Party pretty soon. Nancy Pelosi about to sit down. AOC, these people don't give a fuck about us. Them two women are the future of the Democrat Party. Neither one of them are give a fuck about our needs and wants. See what I'm saying? And so you're going to be more and more ostracized moving forward because you have the wrong people that you vote and support, and they don't give a fuck about us. Even people that, like this brother right here telling you, I would look at this brother like, oh, he's from Mississippi somewhere, ain't he? His ass from his parents, he pretty much African. That's what he is. Ilhan Omar, exactly. She's Somali. They don't fuck with us. They do not fuck. She's about Somali rights, Somalian power. That's what they are about. She's about African immigrants getting all the power, wealth, and influence they can get in America. Fuck y'all. That's how they think. Most of our leaders, a lot of the people of note in America right now are immigrants. Rappers, a lot of the rappers are. This shit ain't about happenstance. Right? A lot of them aren't. A lot of these people aren't descendants of slaves. These people from foreign countries. 21 Savage, you name them. They not descendants of American slaves. And I'm not shitting on people because they're from different countries. If they embrace our culture and do certain things. But this is how you know a lot of them don't fuck with us. A lot of them will come over here and they'll look just like us. They'll talk like us. They'll do the same things we do. But say something about their country. Like they can shit on America and nigga, Nicki Minaj can tell us to tell our young girls to sell pussy and all that shit. Say some shit about all what's the name did, all Michael B. Jordan did was just name a rum after some Trinidadian whatever thing. And what did they do? What did Nicki Minaj do? You ain't one of us. Stop. Like she went at him hard. She was dragging Michael B. Jordan. He's like, well, damn, it's just it was about to be career ending. You had all these people that work in media. Guys, most of the people that work, listen to me. You know why the LGBT movement is becoming strong in our community? It's because we have a lot of immigrant female women that work in these places like The Root. They the ones that write the fucking articles. I'm not saying all Jamaicans are on this shit. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all immigrants are. But the ones that you see, Lovey Smith, whatever her name, not Lovey Smith, what that chick name was. Some chick that's Nigerian. She can't stand us. The chick that played Aretha Franklin, that played, that's getting all the roles in Hollywood and all that shit, African immigrant. And has had some real slick shit to say about us. They don't fuck with us. The brother that played in Star Wars, that's his people from Nigeria, Ghana or something. That brother he get mad when somebody like me say what I'm saying. Like, hey, we're not the same. Shut up. Why? Because the shit is bent right now where you can come in, jump out and say you African when you want to, or you can come in our culture and do what you want to do. And that's what's his face. That's what Black Patriarch is talking about on this channel. We're not the same. We're not. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have no problem. Like I said, I have no problem with them like that. But I understand that shit is not the same shit. We are not the same. And yeah, Cynthia Erivo, yeah, that's her name.
Who else is on this group text?
A lot of this shit, man, a lot of our little places like this, these are immigrants. They're not us. I mean, and this shit, go look it up. Where you from? Oh, my people are from here. My people are from there. They get in journalism, and the white people, white liberals love them because they don't think like us. I look at a white liberal like, bitch, you the enemy. You done destroyed our families, our communities. You done destroyed this. They don't look at it like that. They just look at it like, okay, why are you so mad? You know, I mean, look, he gave you a job. So what? They're pushing LGBT. They ain't pushing that shit in Nigeria. They're not pushing that shit in Jamaica. They're pushing it here. The Jamaicans is fighting that shit right now. They mad as hell. Don't blame them. I'd be mad as hell too if I was Jamaican, with them putting the gay flag and all that up there. See, these are immigrants, man. This girl right here from Insecure, she's proud to say she don't fuck with us. Look at this. These are different. All of them look just like us. These are educated people in positions of power. These are people that's producing films and shit. That's who it is, not us. I met one girl, she spoke at a conference. She's African. And I was flirting with her, whatever. You know, we was talking. I was flirting with her. Pretty girl, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't my type, but she pretty girl. We talking and shit like that. And she did not like the fact that because we got into this conversation. I told her how I felt. And she said, oh, that shit's so divisive. I said, but you guys don't share our values. But she couldn't say shit. I was just telling her, I was like, look, man, a lot of this LGBT stuff, she didn't have a problem with it. What's wrong with that? Why are you being so homophobic? I say, see that, there you go. See, when you sit down and really drill this shit down to the bottom and show it for what it really is, I say, but these black women, I'm like, you single, you in America, you looking for a straight heterosexual man, but you pushing brothers to breed young boys that wear dresses and shit. Then wondering why you ain't got no man, or you wonder why you got a feminine man. They want you to pay all the bills and shit like that, right? When I try to be a real man and be masculine and what God made me to be, you out here fighting against it with some of these articles that your friends write. She ain't like that shit. But she couldn't do nothing but fuck with me. We actually got pretty cool. Issa Rae is part of the West African Voltron, and she seems well connected with Africans from the UK and from Africa as well. Look at this shit. I'm not shitting on them. They just not us. I'm not shitting on them. You gotta understand, these people we're not the same. No disrespect. We're not this. I don't look at Issa Rae as one of us. Issa Rae has been given a position of authority in our community, though, because she speaks about the African American experience. Well, she'll say, well, I was raised here. Then you can hop over and be African when it's convenient. See?
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put your hands together for Yvonne Orji and Lovey
Lovey the one that dragged our ass and talked shit and called us on the internet. I ain't seen her say nothing slick. Yes, I have. I seen her say some slick shit too. Ain't nobody give us nothing. Like, fuck you mean nobody give you nothing? Shit, your ass would be swinging from trees if it wasn't for us. What you talking about? But this is how they think. I actually like Nip. Nip fuck with us. Nip was actually trying to do some positive shit over here for the African Americans. That's what I'm saying. It's not is not a bashing of them, of all of them. Nip wasn't like, bitch, I'm this. He represented it, but he didn't go with it like to the point where he wasn't like trying to push that shit over our kids, negative shit, and then trying to put. He was on some positive shit. If you listen to him, he was real positive. I have nothing bad to say about Nipsey, but he's Ethiopian, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? One of them, Somalian, one of them.
I'm running out of breath. I think I'm young, but I'm not young anymore. That's not the love. Jesus Christ. Okay. Please have a seat, have a seat. You know that representing us.
She don't even talk like that. See how she talking with the accent?
Can you step like that? Is this thing clean? Everyone has one, and now we have half back. What's going on? My people. So back to money. So these are the people who support us. This is our high squad. Everyone like behind every group text, but those high squad. This is the high squad, and these are the people who are able to help us with the ground.
Tariq got into it with Lovey. Lovey done said a lot of shit about us, bro. That's why, like I said, this shit is not. It's almost like we have to be aware of it, have an immune system with that shit. Because if we don't, man, like I said, the African American community does not have an immune system. People can come and do all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we rotting in the sun, and certain crows will come and snatch flesh off out, snatch a pound of flesh out. That's what that shit is. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind them doing what they do, but they're building it off of our shit, but we can't do that with them. Like when Beyonce was supposed to play an African character, they got a lot of shit to say now. They don't like us speaking with African accents in their movies no more, in our movie, right? Like we built, let's let this shit sink in for a second. If there was no Sidney Poitier, if there was no Eddie Murphy, if there was no Richard Pryor, if there was no, you name it, Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes, Angela Bassett, right? The sister that just died, I forget her name, right? If she didn't do the Diary of Jane Pittman, if black folks didn't come through all that, the movie Sounder, y'all don't know anything about Sounder. Y'all don't know anything about that, right? That shit, we got all this shit that we built in Hollywood, all the fuckery that black folks went through in Hollywood to be able to get certain representation. And then soon as we break through and we start trying to get some fly shit, here they come with all the immigrants. And I'm not shitting on the immigrants, but I know what's going on. We're being replaced. That's what it is. I don't mind we're separate, but you are being replaced in media and in Hollywood and in representation. That shit is on purpose. And like I said, this is like I must keep saying this because I feel like I don't want to hurt the feelings of a lot of my immigrant friends and students. This is not personal. It's not. We still cool. I have nothing against you, but I'm gonna call this shit down the middle. Fair being fair, that's what's going on right now. A lot of that is going on, and we're not aware of it. And we think, oh, well, this Issa Rae's got a black girl, awkward black girl has been taken off and put on TV. She's an immigrant. She put immigrants in key positions. This girl right here that plays Molly, they don't fuck with us. Watch this shit.
All the time. These are the people who be so honest that they will call you on the carpet. They'll tell you you're wrong. And look at this beautiful squad. Hi, Chef, the chick, Uncle Ben, play our theme song. Yes.
Now's an important time to celebrate us because we need to let it known that it's not a trend that black women are running things. This is how it needs to be all the time.
See this shit? Feminists pushing that feminist bullshit. See, you can't just put motherfuckers in. They a lot of these African females, a lot of them when they come and put them in positions, it's not by happenstance. And where they at Essence? They at the Essence Festival. They putting transgenders, that shit on some other shit. How dare you say black women should run the black community? Let's look at what it looks like under their leadership now. You run the black community. Look how fucked up it is. What you talking about? Your ass, shit, you more incompetent than Joe Biden. No disrespect, you shouldn't be leading. That's all I'm saying. Men should lead. But what did she just say?
It's so funny. It's so funny. Find there. How did you do?
I was your breath in your rock or feet you. Why don't you thinking I'm with you? Only one thing I want to do is respect you. Keep my soul back. I'm my own by that. If I be doing things that you won't regret, you keep between me, so you just can't keep time around. I proceed. Yes, indeed.
He's just talking about how inclusive we are as black people. And we are. Saying nobody's helping black folks though. Nobody gives a fuck about us. Watch this shit here. Watch what you about to play. When they become successful, they create their own space, their own group, and make sure their group remains exclusive. I'm gonna tell y'all, I've been to an event. I went to an event in DC with some Africans. Them motherfuckers looked at me like they wanted to kill my ass because I was with this chick, right? This is years ago, and bro, I was with this chick. They had a man. Let me tell you something. I got on the elevator. She said, "Hey, this is my friend. He's from Alabama." Da, da, da. Man, this African nigga looked at me like, "You fucking bitch ass nigga." That's how he looked at me. And I'm like, "Damn, are we gonna have to fight in this bitch?" Them niggas didn't like me round they women. They don't. I'm telling you, them niggas on some different shit. They'll come on and fuck all our women, but they don't like that, especially the one I was with, because everybody wanted her. Them niggas was looking at me like, "Who the fuck is this nigga?" Like that's. I'm telling you, it was some different shit. Notice you gonna always see her ass there. See what I'm saying? She quick to represent that African.
My name is Angelica Waju, and I am the
Shade Room. All the fuckery you see on the Shade Room, look where it's coming from. See what I'm saying?
Out there, the Shade Room.
I'm incredibly proud of
that brother that made a movie about marrying white women. Like this the type of shit. Hold up. Let me go back. He made that movie about a black dude. One about a black dude marrying white women and shit.
I'm incredibly
him. This brother right here.
Proud of
create our own avenues to bring it to the hub. I'm not about the crap and the barrel once a season just to get out. Yummy. Oh, what is that? It's Nigerian. We are extra.
New York Times best-selling author. They done took over the writing game, bro. They all over the journalism, all that shit. So they represent us, not us. Nobody speak for us. That's the really dirty little secret. And like I said, I got love for my African brothers and sisters. I got love for my immigrant brothers and sisters. Nothing personal. I fuck hard with a lot of y'all. We cool as hell. Y'all like brothers to me. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all like, bro, I got some African dudes, I'm damn near like family. I'm no shit, right? But what I'm saying is there's a difference. Our cultures are different. And we just need to understand certain things. This is probably cleaning this shit up. What I'm talking about right now is probably going to make some people a little bit divisive. Like when you watch Grapevine, right? Whatever that shit is, those are immigrants talking. Men ain't shit. That's an immigrant. Your ass, you need to shut the fuck up. Your people from Africa, ain't it? You need to go sit your ass down somewhere. That's how shit need to go. Because your whole experience of saying that men ain't shit is because your parents don't see the evils of liberalism and feminism and all that shit, and how it done fucked how socialism and fucked up Africa. You don't see that shit. I do. So I see shit different.
You gotta amplify Africa. All the countries. All of it.
Amplify Africa. I have no problem. We ain't the same. So meanwhile, Yvonne Orji is in our community, is using our community, and she creates her own platform that is exclusively for her group. And he said, as I said earlier, I have no problem with Yvonne Orji or any other black immigrants creating an exclusive space for themselves. But why is it okay for our people, for these people to use our platform to advance their careers, but it's not okay to keep our platform exclusive? We can't do what they do. We can't be exclusive. And like me, like whatever, I'm not saying, well, man, I ain't gonna teach no African. I'm gonna teach you whoever the fuck come knock on my door. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, whoever. That's me. Just so happens I teach mostly black men that are descendants of slaves, but it doesn't, I don't make it that way. It just happens like that. She said, and if you pay her to attention, Yvonne Orji, she works hard to make her nationality cool and relevant in the mainstream media. She wants her culture, her nationality, her music to be popular by using our culture, our media, our platform, and demographic. And in the past, I stated that many foreign blacks are extremely jealous that our culture is far more popular globally than their culture. For instance, I noticed Yvonne Orji in her comedic videos always makes some slick jokes towards Black Americans.
Yo, watch this trailer.
Is that you? Yo, where'd you get to a movie?
Really? David, on your lower now.
Come through. Like, have you seen this?
Like, speaking proper Yoruba.
Is this a Nollywood movie?
Hollywood movie.
Well, the Nigerian takeover right now is not a game.
Wait. So you're Nigerian?
Oh, of course.
You're Nigerian. Okay. You know you're not. You're from Brooklyn.
Yo, born and raised.
So all y'all Nigerian.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What you doing?
If I take my DNA test, y'all not about to leave me out.
Is this phone checking this one?
First of all, coming to America, then Black Panther, now this. No, not to get in that.
Bruh, you got cavities. Oh, that's too big.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Yvonne Orji, the creator and writer of the soon-to-be hit sitcom First Jazz. So we're here in the heart of Hollywood trying to gauge people's perceptions of all things Africa. So why don't you join me and we ask them a couple questions? Come on, it'll be fun. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear Africa?
Africa, Black, Pride.
Ghana. Very specific. Why Ghana? Because my husband's from Ghana and I have family there.
The creation, where it all started. Black people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we don't have no hatred. Like, we don't. Like, you talk to black folks, we don't. I mean, you hear you call me African booty scratcher bullshit. I mean, okay, somebody might have called you that. I was called all types of shit when I was a kid. I'm not up here, that motherfucker. I hate that nigga. I see the nigga from Alabama. Nigga, what's happening? You think I give a fuck about some nigga calling me some shit when I was 8 years old? That type of shit. So that's not the real reason. I do agree. There may be some resentment. You know what I'm saying? Because what the preeminent culture all over the world right now, is African American culture. We shape this fucker. We shape it. Every culture in the world is imitating us. Even though we the brokest motherfuckers over here, we the coolest. According to what's hot right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we're better than anybody, but that is the preeminent culture right now in the world.
Africa, our Black culture. So when I say Africa, you just think Africa?
Guys, how many African Americans were called African booty scratchers? I'll raise my hand. I was called that. That's not anybody that was dark skinned or anything. They call you African booty scratcher. That's not. You know what I'm saying? How many of y'all was called? I call your ass whatever it felt like. I call niggas whatever. I call niggas African booty scratcher. I say yo fish mouth ass, big head, gas company head ass. But I say all types of crazy shit. Just to laugh. It wasn't even like I really felt that way. I just would say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Black culture.
Hot. Because it's hot. It's real hot in Africa.
Blood diamonds.
I'm kind of scared. I'm really kind of scared right now. I think about dance, but what about Africa? What kind of dance? African dance. You show us some African dance? No, no. Ah, mbaba, no, that. Friends, Sam Matagoke. We're here at AfroBall 2019. What's the process of implementing Nigerian designs and African pieces into your character?
I'm just blessed to have like a really, really cool production team that's like let me kind of like run with this. I pitched the idea to the producers. You know, the show's now based in Atlanta. It was in Colorado before, and there's a lot of Nigerians in Atlanta, and a lot of them work in tech. Jeff works in tech. I was like, this is not a reach, and they said yes. And at first it started with like the language and like speaking Yoruba.
Yoruba said yes.
Father, and then it started with clothing with Meredith, who's like an amazing costume designer. I said, can we set aside some budget specifically for West African clothing? She said yes. Then I got to start designing. Then I got to like incorporate food, and I'm just trying to do it every way possible I can and use that because I just think it's important that we see ourselves.
He says he wants the experience to be normalized. His experience to be normalized. Not us. We're being ignored like a motherfucker. And I totally agree with that. There are different forms of black experience, not just black American experience. Okay. But if these people want their experience to be normalized, they should do it in their circle instead of coming into our circle.
But my name is Angelica Wandu, and I am the CEO founder of The Shade Room. And The Shade Room, if you don't know what it is one of the biggest black media companies in the world.
I mean, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't know what The Shade Room is.
Honestly, let me say this. Nigerians ride for The Shade Room. The second biggest population on The Shade Room is Lagos.
I believe it.
Like, I love Nigerians. They ride for The Shade Room.
How do you amplify Africa?
Wow, I amplify Africa by staying true to my culture and always representing for my culture and always never forgetting where I come from.
He's talking about what some African immigrants said on this fucking Grapevine show. I hate that show. Hate it.
Someone mentioned assimilation that Africans want to assimilate. I actually think it's quite different. I think that a lot of it is cultural preservation, and that Africans, come here and they have an agenda. Number one, and that is to do well and take advantage of what the country has to offer, but also to preserve their heritage since they are no longer connected to that land. In terms of appropriation, one thing that I think is really interesting is how you do have some like continental Africans that might say like, oh, you're appropriating our culture.
Explain what you mean when you say continental Africans.
When I say continental Africans, I just mean not Americans. I mean non-Americans, so they come from the continents of Africa, I get it. That will say like, oh, well, you're appropriating our culture and you're appropriating wearing dashikis and doing this and doing that. But then they do Nigerian dab. Dab is Black American culture. They want to have a part of our culture. They want to use our type of slang words. They want to say fam. They want to say lit. They want to do all these types of things that we came up with. And it's like, is that not y'all partaking in our Black American culture that we created? It's like, I understand feeling like, oh, you should not wear a dashiki because a dashiki has certain cultural customs and you don't know what you're doing and you're just putting it on. Okay, that's fine. But then that means that I have the right to tell you, you can't say nigga because that's a Black American thing. You can't dab. That's a Black American thing. So does everybody, that's what Surrender saying?
And that's basically what I was coming around because that's the reason why I don't wear that shit. Like, I remember like when it first got hot, I was like, oh, let me wear one. And I wore one, and at the time I was on the church, and there's a lot of Africans that went to my church, and they were like, where's that from? And I'm like, it almost felt like I was in a gang, like, I'm wearing the wrong color. I'm like, no disrespect. I'm just not gonna wear this no more. But the thing was, there was no intersection for. All right,
thanks, Rocky Man. Can I get some likes, y'all? Can I get some likes while y'all here? Appreciate it.
Teach you, right? Like it was just, I'm violent. It really felt like it was gang, like you violate, don't ever let me see you in that again. I was like, okay.
Media.
See, this is the thing. Let me say something. Now, if I'm a small hat, I got money, and I want to socially engineer and thus fuck up the Black community, I would take a person like this and give them money and tell them to go make a movie. And then you'll get some fucked up shit like Them on Prime, right? Y'all saw Them, one of the most fucked up shows you want to see. The chick that did that, same chick that did The Chi, same chick that does a bunch of fucked up shows, Lee Daniels, motherfuckers like that. That's who I'm gonna give money to and say, give me an authentic black experience. You ain't what the fuck black folks are. I'm gonna take the most weirdest looking motherfucker I can see on the street and get them billions of dollars and let them build movies and shit like that. That's what small hats do. Right? I ain't gonna take that, brother. You ain't gonna give me no money, tell me to make no fucking movie. Because you know, I'm gonna probably do some shit that most black people gonna relate to. They gonna give motherfuckers like this, weird, strange motherfuckers. Somebody, you like, who the fuck is that? She look weird as hell.
There's still a very particular kind of limitation when it comes to how black people are being represented. Restrictions that often revolve around nationality. With the exception of a huge market like Nollywood, popular mainstream media tends to highlight things from an African American perspective. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not the fault of those in front or behind the camera. After all, they can only write what they know. But as Toni Morrison once said,
and see, this is the thing. This is my thing right here. This is where I disagree. And I was on Search for Uhuru's channel, and immigrants got pissed off and was dragging me for this shit one time. I came in and I said, these people are coming in, taking roles and opportunities from African American actors, and they say, oh, well, they're trained, they're better. No. So you telling me that we didn't have any black actors that are of note that are good until the immigrants came, right? So you telling me that people that not necessarily that went to Juilliard or black people that went to film school at an HBCU like in Alabama State, like Octavia Spencer, we don't have no black good actors nowhere? That the best only come from, no, they come with a different social thing. And so when we did that movie, what is it, Judas and the Black Messiah, I thought it was fucked up that they had an immigrant playing one of our heroes. I didn't like that shit. Oh, you shouldn't do that because I'm supposed to like the movie because it's an immigrant playing it, or not because it's a Black Panther movie, right? I'm just supposed to like it, right? I'm not supposed to notice that he looks nothing like Fred Hampton. I'm not supposed to notice that I halfway didn't know what the fuck he was saying when I saw it. I had to really get used to him talking. What did he say? That was not, I didn't have to do that with Fred Hampton. I'm from Alabama. I'm country as hell. Y'all understand every word I'm saying. When I saw that film, I was like, okay, this guy is talking, and I really didn't know. You're a revolutionary. You're revolutionary. I'm like, what the fuck is he saying? Like, what is this? This shit was horrible, right? And I'm like, you can't find a brother from America that could have played that shit better. You know what I'm saying? I believe you could. I believe you could.
If you have yet to read a book that has not been written, it is your job to write it, which is in part what I'm doing with this series.
See, at this point, I was like, this is going to go left.
And at the end of the day, black Brits just come cheap.
Then it went fucking left.
See that they really don't like that shit when somebody say this. This is in Spike Lee's She's Gotta Have It season 2. She made a comment about actors taking shit over, and the Africans had a fit about that shit.
And I was like, okay, so talk sense.
Black British actors are better suited than black.
What's this accent, first of all?
Stateside roles because they don't carry the burden of fucked up black American history.
See, if this point was unpacked, it could go somewhere.
See how she's saying it was unpacked because the African immigrant, the dude said the immigrant does not carry the burden of the fucked up black history. That's why they give them the role. Because you would probably, as African Americans, they don't want us representing this shit because we know what the fuck happened. We was here when they was swinging out. Our uncles and aunts was getting swung. The whole damn family was swinging from a fucking bridge, right? We look at shit different, right? When they burned out great-grandfather at the stake, right? You got people that was lynched and shit like that. People took bricks upside the fucking head. My mama and daddy did the bus boycott and all this shit that they had to go through it, the inconvenience and all the struggle that black people. See, we look at shit way different. That's our history. That's, like I said, I have nothing against immigrants at all, but I do feel like this is something that we need to talk about. It needs to be brought out because if we don't, I think it's unhealthy. I really do. I think it's unhealthy. And I think if before long, if all of our elected officials are immigrants, That's problematic, bro. That shit cannot stand. Ilhan Omar does not represent my needs and wants. I'm sorry, she doesn't.
But she goes nowhere.
Really delve into Black American shit.
I want to fucking scream.
How can someone so gorgeous, be so talented,
Oh my god.
be so fucking ignorant?
The irony of this entire conversation.
You're not unburdened, Olu. British ships were the dominant force in the Atlantic slave trade. Almost 2
Black British people know
million
this.
kidnapped Africans who died during the Middle Passage. So you and your mans and your fellow Black British blokes,
I can vomit.
you didn't come out of this shit unscathed. You just have Stockholm syndrome.
Wow.
You fell in love with the captors. Get all the way the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
What?
So they had a problem with that shit. Like the dude from Star Wars went at Spike Lee for putting that in there. He had the audacity. Why would he? You know what? Get me? He got blessed. He went from being some little no-name actor that did Attack on the Block to being in Star Wars, right? And he was black, and he's like, fuck it. Like, you know, he's down with that shit. And then because he's like, shit, it changed my life, right? I'm in Star Wars. I'm canon now. I'm up there. I'm a modern day actor. I'm successful. So of course, when somebody like Spike Lee say something like that, he gonna have a problem with it. Like, wait a minute, man, that's fucked up. Da, 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 da. And he's like, whoa, you Americans need to shut up. Now, telling me to shut up when I talk about stuff like this, roles and opportunities and shit like that, is very interesting, right? I'm saying, look, do that, but you're not black, okay? You're not one of us. You're black, but you're not one of us. So you, like, when it comes to scholarships, when it comes to all types of shit, when it comes to the census, when it comes to all that, we need to be counted separate. That's it. Nothing personal. And if they want to give you a job, they can give you a job. But you can't be counted as being black and say we have a black man or a black woman and think that means FBA. It doesn't. That just means that your ass is immigrant, black man, immigrant black woman, whatever nation, whatever. But you ain't one of us. And that's not a knock. That's not saying we're better than you or anything like that. Like I said in my video, I didn't want people to feel like it was a personal thing, but this is some shit that people really need to pay attention to.
My name is Eniwa Boachi. I'm from Streatham, which is southwest London.
Anthony Mark Barrow, and originally I'm from Birmingham.
My name is Portia Bartley, and I am from Croydon, which is in South London.
Hello, my name is Alexander Olajuwon. I'm from London. To be exact, I'm from North London, in a small town called Barnet.
My name is Chris Saki, and I'm from London, Brixton.
Right. Tell me about the actors.
Look at that, Black Beyond America, British actors. They like, fuck it, we'll come from Great Britain and take your fucking jobs. See what I'm saying? That's how shit work, man. You gotta look at this shit. This shit is like, we gotta say something about this, man. Fuck American culture, bitch. We come, all right, build your shit in London then. I don't want to be in London. It's better jobs in America. I'm going to America. But I'm still gonna represent and make sure that my immigrant brothers and sisters can get on. Fuck you, African Americans. That's how the energy is for a lot. That's how we feel, right? Everybody ain't coming on here like Nip. Everybody ain't coming on here like Marcus Garvey. That's not how they coming.
So this is where I started acting, where I found out I wanted to become an actor.
I mean, I had a great acting experience in terms of theatrically, but I must admit I felt very frustrated in the UK.
And primarily, I had a good career in the UK, but like many other actors, you tend to reach a glass ceiling where you want more.
So yes, even for me, it's interesting to watch like Nigerians take over a chapter. Well, really the whole entire frat, but to see them take over a chapter of the first African American fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, which is a bastion of African American culture that's derived from the Divine Nine and their history in our community. But to see them take it over while still holding on to xenophobic beliefs against African Americans. You just cannot think that your culture is better than mine, particularly when you are participating and benefiting from my culture. You know, we are both cute, we both good, and if you believe that, why would you pledge in the first place? We welcomed you into an elite function of our culture, so don't turn your nose up now. But there are ways for both of us to be proud about our culture and respect our culture, and because you're participating in it, you do have an obligation to learn the history. Like how you pledge anyway?
These are immigrants coming in back in the day. Check them out.
You know, and the people, most of them are snobbish. And, you know, when you get in a bus, they give you dirty looks and things like that. And then I got fed up and I wanted to go home. But as my mom was here, I stayed on.
Well, a lot depends on the individual. I think the immigrants are mainly to be blamed because a lot of them come here. This I know as a fact. They come to this country with a chip on their shoulders. They expect that everybody should meet them with a smile. They think they're doing the people here a favor, and they resent a lot of remarks which aren't meant to be really insulting. And they just resent it. They don't stop to find out whether the people are just being human by making a human joke. They're very resentful, and I think those who are prepared to integrate will find success here.
I mean, like I said, man, you know, he says throughout history, we have always helped and embraced Black immigrants, from Marcus Garvey to Louis Farrakhan, from Neil Long to Barack Obama, right? But, you know, it is what it is, man. I don't have no ill feelings towards Africans at all, or immigrants at all. I just think that we definitely need to separate the classifications. It just has to be done. Because what's going on is a lot of shit. If you take the immigrants and separate them from African Americans, you can really then see where we really are. Because a lot of the people in tech are African. They're immigrants. Most of the people in tech that are Black are immigrants. If you take them out the mix, we really underrepresented in tech. That's just the bottom line.
Reason anyone dates someone because I like them, you know, like it's not. I saw the white guy and I was like, oh, he's white, I'm gonna date him. I'm like, no, that's not how it works out. So it was kind of like a culture shock to me, because it was kind of like they made me feel like for some reason I was betraying my culture or some crap like that. And how, I don't know, like for me, I felt like, what are you trying to say? Like I'm going against my people. Like, first of all, let's get this straight. I'm Haitian. And in the Haitian culture, when you grow, at least the old generation, as you grow up, they will tell you, you are not Black American, you are Haitian. And what that means is, you know, we don't want you walking around speaking irregular English. You're going to be educated. And basically, they raise you up to really not, I don't really know how to explain it. I didn't know there was a way to act Black or a way to act white. I didn't know being Black meant watching BET 24/7 or talking, you know, like in Ebonics, or, you know, dressing a certain way. I didn't know, you know, that's acting Black, because personally, I'm going to be me all day. And obviously, you know, I'm Black because hello. So
she, that's what I'm saying. You look at her, you think she's Black, because I guess she's saying she calls him Black because she with a white man. So I'm Black. I'm Haitian. I don't have to think like that. See, and that's the thing. Let me let y'all hear something at the beginning of Wyclef's album. Listen to this shit here.
I
was 4 years old when the Marine left Haiti, the U.S. Marine left Haiti. I was a kid. And every time a Marine battalion passed in front of the house, my father took my hand and said, don't look at them. Don't look at them. And every May 18th, the Flag Day, defiantly, he put the Haitian flag in front of the house. And I said, Father, what is that? What does that mean for you? He said, that means that you are Haitian. That means that my great-grandfather fought at Berthier. Never forget that. You are Haitian. You are from this land. You are not French. You are not British. You are not American, you are Haitian.
So I mean, look, if I was Haitian, I'd be proud of the Haitian Revolution as well. I mean, that was a hell of a feat that they accomplished. So I get it, but that's what I'm talking about. We different, man. That's all I'm trying to say. We're different, and politically, we have different needs, different desires, different wants. We can come together in certain instances and help one another and build together as a people. Yes, from a Pan-African mentality, right? But we can also understand we're not the same, bro. And they have let us know. They spent a lot of time letting us know that they want to carve out their own spaces. I say let them. But if you're going to come to America and you're going to come and see, Hollywood is a little different than just in other areas. Hollywood, there's only a certain amount of jobs. It's ran by the small hats. They green light shit. And so they come in, the small hats have made up their minds that they're going to go with them and they're going to represent us. That is fucked up. And we need to build our own shit so we can make decisions about who we put in charge of shit like that. We can't just take immigrants and throw them in charge all the time. We can't. And so that's the thing. And so when we build stuff, we have our own spaces. We can't have immigrants speaking for us. We can't have immigrants telling us, hey, this is what it is. This is what it's not. I think that's what happens in a lot of times is they speak for us. They speak for African Americans, and they shouldn't. Politically, a large majority of the Black National Black Caucus are immigrants. And you wonder why your ass ain't getting reparations? Them motherfuckers don't give a shit because they think, okay, well, if they start talking about heritage, shit, my people got here in the 90s. My people got here in the 70s. So shit, well, I ain't gonna get shit. Fuck these niggas. I'm telling you. You think that's not there? Huh? You think Sheila Jackson Lee really why she pushing so hard for DACA? She don't give a fuck because she like, well, shit, my people only make up small percentage anyway. African Americans need to get in line. Shit, fuck it. I'm about maintaining power, wealth, and influence for my immigrant people. That's how they think. That's how Ilhan Omar thinks. They done took Minnesota over. Them motherfuckers cheating and winning elections out on camera, getting caught cheating. Lying. That bitch ain't got no morals. None. I'm sorry. Ilhan Omar has no fucking morals. That bitch married her own fucking brother or some shit. Like she just on some other shit, man. Immigration fraud. All types of shit. They got caught with fake taking money and blowing it, doing all types of evil shit. But she ain't one of us. And so I'm not really looking at it from that perspective anymore. I understand this shit to be something different. We need to think like that. We just do. We don't need to think that these people have our best interests at heart. They don't. They don't, man. This lady is not African American. Ilhan Omar. And I've seen so many black folks riding for her. Black folks, you got to understand. What's that lady name? Kamala Harris. Not one of us. Kamala Harris does not fuck with us hard. She really don't fuck with African Americans. Right? Like she can't stand our ass. It's like every move she made while she was in power was to fuck black people up. Like was to hurt black and harm black people. So she's not American. She's not one of us. Oh, she's naturalized. You know? And so that's what I'm saying. Between the politics and between a lot of the other shit that goes in our communities, I think black people need to start waking up. Black people need to start understanding that shit. And like I said, some of the immigrants I'm cool as hell with. Nipsey was a good example of how you should do shit. He was proud of his heritage, but he didn't go around letting us know, nigga, I'm this, I'm that, I'm only doing shit for us, for my people. No, Nip was like, shit, I'm doing shit to try to help the black community. I'm black. That's how he talk. You didn't never know that he thought, I didn't know that shit till he got killed. I knew he wasn't American. But when I started listening to him after he got shot, I was like, damn, he's a different kind of brother. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Garvey. If you're going to do it, that's how you do it. And if you do that, if you extend out to us, I'll extend back by nature. I'm not a hateful. I don't think we as African Americans are hateful. I think if they extend out to us, we're going to extend back. Just like Marcus Garvey, just like anything. But if you come here, and you got this mentality like, bitch, I'm not one of you, fuck you, da-da-da, and you got that Nicki Minaj type shit. Every time an American loses or does anything, she trying to feel like she the police, got to come check us, but the bitch made all her money off the backs of black folks. See what I'm saying? Off of us buying her albums and supporting her ass. She wouldn't be Nicki Minaj if it wasn't for black folks in America. But you make it damn sure you go out your way to let us know that you don't fuck with us. See what I'm saying? That I have a problem with. That is something I have a problem with. And that's what I'm seeing with a lot of these black celebrities and black people in certain places. Let me see if I can find Black Patriarch on Twitter. Because he got a lot of good stuff. He covers that a lot on Twitter. He does. If you look at Black Patriarch on here, he just has a lot of videos where he's talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see if I can find this video right here. Watch this here. Here you go.
The actor took to social media to explain the change after the company sparked backlash and accusations of cultural appropriation. J'ouvert was the original name of the rum, a name that carries a long history in the Caribbean. J'ouvert is an annual festival with origins to Trinidad, and the name stems from the Antillean Creole French term meaning daybreak or dawn. Today, the event marks the start to Carnival in many Caribbean islands, but there is also a historic cultural significance to the holiday. The street party's traditions coincide with the emancipation from slavery. In its inception, the festival was said to be a chance to embrace and express newfound freedom. Nicki Minaj, who was born in Trinidad and Tobago, called for the change on her own social media, writing, quote, "I'm sure MPJ didn't intentionally do anything he thought Caribbean people would find offensive. But now that you are aware, change the name and continue to flourish and prosper." Michael apologized shortly after, saying in a statement, quote, "I just want to say on behalf of myself and my..."
We can't see that. They letting us, nigga, you ain't one of us. We don't fuck with you like that. See what I'm saying? They got an immune system. We don't. This shit ain't working, bro. This shit ain't working the way it's set up. It is not working. Let me see if I can find. Let me see. Oh, check this out. Listen.
I didn't want to bring this up, but I am a black immigrant, and I could speak for my black immigrant experience in the U.S. But that's a different. I don't want to do that now. What I want to talk about is part of the rhetoric that I hear from Black America. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't be here. And that is, again, like Becky Zeta would say, that is absolutely and totally false. I challenge anyone listening to me right now to present one speech from Martin Luther King where he was advocating for bringing in black immigrants. As a matter of fact, back in the civil rights movement, it was thought that immigration hurt black people. They didn't care what it was.
They knew what time. You see what I'm saying? And so watch what he say though.
Black or white. So no, it's not the case that the civil rights crew was responsible for bringing black immigrants. It was Jewish people, Jewish senators who wanted.
Really? Listen to him now. Listen, hey, out of his mouth, the small hats brought us. Really?
To destroy, and they've done a successful job over the last 50 years. Including Chuck was responsible for bringing black immigrants. It was Jewish people, Jewish senators who wanted to destroy, and they've done a successful job over the last 50 years, including Chuck Schumer, by having immigration lottery and so on. What you don't know about immigration is the following. You see, for every one of those people you see coming across the border, once they get their residency card in America, they're now able to bring their grandmother children, their father and brother. Within 5 years, each of them will be able to bring 27, on average, 27 different people from their culture. What you are looking at in real time is the destruction of FBA. If you think that your problem is black immigrants, within 20 years, you will not only be the fourth largest population in America, you might even be lower than that. Black America is finished as a viable entity. And what you're looking at is the last gasp of a drowning man who is trying to lash out at anything. So this year, Hispanics in 2020, for the first time in American history, the Hispanic vote exceeded the black vote. Can you imagine what that vote is going to be in 2024? And Hispanics support Trump, they support Republicans more than black. FBA is finished. I mean, I didn't want to say that. I wanted to end on a more positive note.
He says, despite the fact that Native Black Americans made it possible for Caribbeans to come over here, some remain totally ungrateful. See, this is the thing, bro. Like, the arrogance in the way he was talking, that should piss you off. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't dare take my ass over there and say that the Chinese is destroying Africa. You guys are finished. This is the last gasp of that. Well, who the fuck? I wouldn't do that shit. I go to Africa like, man, y'all need to kick them motherfuckers out here, man. They hurting y'all. That's what's best for y'all. These people almost rooting for them motherfuckers to destroy. He even said that the small hats wanted us here to destroy y'all. Did y'all hear that shit? Out of the mouth. He know exactly who brought him here. He know why they brought him here. Not all of them. Some of them came over here and like I said, they cool. Some of them come over here to destabilize our ass. And the small hats run music. They run Hollywood. Who's elevating them? Who do they put on Snowfall? Who are they putting in these shows? They the ones doing this shit, man. That's the real dirty little secret. The real devil. I ain't gonna call it the devil, but the real enemy of black folks right now. The biggest enemy of black folks is small hats right now. That is, if I had to name an ethnic group that fucks black people over more than any other group, it would be small hats. The most evil, vile group of people on the planet. I dare anybody to challenge me. I challenge anybody to debate me on that shit. See what I'm saying?
Oh, honey, growing up in Miami in the 90s, it wasn't nice. It was not nice to be Haitian in Miami. You know, back then, I didn't really realize a lot of the shit that was happening. Can I cuss? Oh, I didn't realize a lot of the shit that was happening when it came to how Americans saw Haitians. I didn't realize that back in the 90s that we were being said to be the ones who brought AIDS to America.
I mean, come on, bro. There's nobody. I didn't even know that shit. Who the fuck? Have you ever heard somebody say Haitians brought AIDS? Like this shit, and they hate our ass, bro. Like these motherfuckers hate us. Some of them do. Not like I said, I'm being nuanced now. Don't if you don't feel like I'm being rejecting you, but a lot of them can't stand our ass, bro. They hate us because of some shit some dumb ignorant motherfucker said in the 3rd grade. And they still remember that shit.
You know, just dumb shit. You know, I didn't know that, you know, Americans thought so low of us.
Like I said, America teaches you
who to hate. And America definitely taught, you know, Black Americans especially to hate Haitians.
America ain't teach us to hate that. We don't give a fuck. Like, have you been taught to hate Haitians? What did America? All we know about is the Haitian Revolution. What else did you teach in the history book to hate Haitians? Is it in the history book that they brought us HIV? Who taught us that dumb shit? Nobody teach black people. You just projected. She made some disrespectful comments about Whitney Houston, joking about Whitney Houston being dead. Watch this shit. I saw that shit. Real fucked up. Come on, man. Damn. Is my internet working? Shit. Hold on. Let me refresh. I get so sick of this shit. Sorry about that. Let me go down. But let me go back to where she was. So, right here.
being Haitian was bad.
Oh, honey. And America definitely taught.
First of all, let's get this straight. I'm Haitian. And in the Haitian culture, when you grow, at least the
She proud than the motherfucker, ain't she? She proud, boy. She like, fuck y'all niggas.
whole generation, I figure out they will tell
You niggas are stupid. First of all, I'm Haitian. I'm not stupid like you niggas, okay? I'm not one of you niggas.
you are not Black American. You are Haitian. And what that means is, you know, we don't want you walking around speaking irregular English. You're going to be educated, and basically they raise you up.
Oh shit, we don't understand subject-verb agreement. That's what it means to be Black in America. To not even understand how to speak English. Shit.
To really not, I don't really know how to explain it. Actually, in high school, I didn't get a lot of crap. I was called an Oreo girl, you know, the black on the outside, white on the inside.
Why? Why was she called Oreo? Huh? Why was she called Oreo?
Whatever. And, you know, that kind of hurt me a little bit, but I kind of got over it after a while because I was just like, you know, I didn't know there was a way to act Black or a way to act white. I didn't know being Black meant watching BET 24/7 or talking, you know, like any Ebonics or you know, dressing a certain way. I didn't know, you know, that's acting black.
But remember, America taught Native Black Americans to hate Haitians, not the other way around. Motherfuckers taught to hate us. Guys, when you are the number one commodity on the planet, at foundation, I'm talking to the FBA people right now. Let me say something. You're the number one commodity you're the hottest commodity on the planet right now. You are. Like, your culture is shipped around the world. Everybody dresses. They do your dances. They steal your culture. It's cool. We don't have an immune system so motherfucker can take our shit and adopt it in Korea and be dancing and doing our shit. But bring your ass over there and do some Korean shit that they don't like, right? Do some shit. Do some Chinese shit, right? Go move to Africa, move to China, and fuck one of them Chinese women and watch the whole damn neighborhood come together and beat your ass to death like they did that guy from Zimbabwe, right? Do that shit, right? Certain things that we can't do, but other people can adopt. We are the hottest commodity. Basketball, football, whatever we do, music, whatever, right? African American culture is America's biggest, most desired export. I'm telling you, I done travel. All you gotta do is leave. Most African Americans, we don't have passports. We don't know this shit. Get you a passport, stamp that bitch, go around the world. You'll see what I'm talking about. You be like, damn, I've been to Brazil. I've been all over. I've been to Dominican Republic. I've been to Paraguay, right? I've been to Mexico City in Mexico. I've been all over Mexico. I've been all over. I've been to Africa, I've been to Europe, and I'm telling you, African American culture is the shit. It is. And I'm not trying to say it like we're better. Everybody knows that, right? And so that is gonna, present jealousy. When shit happened to you and you African American, motherfuckers gonna laugh. Like when you go certain places, because you're American, you're gonna be hated. Like that's just about, oh man, fuck, don't teach them to be a victim. That's not victimhood. That's how that shit go. Like nothing is laughable when you are fucked up in fucked up situations to people that have been from poor countries and shit like that. You Americans, you getting a taste of your own medicine. You not understanding we fucked up over here too, but they don't give a fuck. You got it good. Y'all the wealthiest black people on the planet. So that's how you looked at when you leave, when you take your ass to Africa, when you take your ass anywhere, right? Like I've been over in these cultures. Nothing made them. I played basketball. Motherfuckers played me dirty as hell in foreign countries. I'm talking about the ref let motherfuckers push me all in the bleachers while I'm trying to run up court. I'm trying to run up the court. They worried about the black guy, right? I had some white guys on the team. They ain't check. They half-ass checking the white boys. Them motherfuckers was double teaming, pushing, fouling, being dirty, jumping all on my fucking back, just dirty shit, right? And the referees was laughing like the shit was funny. In Mexico, I never forgot that shit. I never forgot it. These motherfuckers thought, okay, he's the black guy. He's the best player. We're going to really check him hard and do him dirty. They let the white boy shoot wide open. They was half-ass checking him. I'm like, damn, why they ain't checking him like they checking me? Type of shit like that. You are African-American. They think certain things about us. That's how they think. You know what I'm saying? So you're viewed as, a certain way when you leave this bitch. And that also presents jealousy. And motherfuckers don't like us. And their objective is to come here and take shit from us. And they think we're stupid and lazy any fucking way. They're like, they stupid, they lazy. We come over here and take shit from them. You better understand your ass got to compete. That is what it is. Now, I can't fault African American. I can't fault African immigrants. I can't fault Haitians or whatever from coming over here and busting their ass. If you don't bust your ass, that's your fault. And I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. If they work hard, they deserve every fucking thing they get. They do. Like I said, if them Haitians and immigrants come over here and bust their ass and they don't have this fucked up worldview that, man, the system is designed, the white man only gonna let me get as far as he wants me to go. You think like that? Well, then you deserve to be defeated and have all your shit taken. All your jobs, whatever they can get, they deserve to come take the scholarships from your dumb ass because you stupid. That's the bottom line. If you're really smart and you're really on top of your game, you'll have your shit ready and crisp. If you don't, then you deserve whatever the fuck come your way. And that's what a lot of black people don't get. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black people do not understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? So look, let me go downstairs and get my ass back on that laptop and get back to work. I did get started. Let me see what y'all got to say right quick before I leave. Sounds like that chick was crying about Zaddy calling her an N-word. Yep. Has Jessica Wu mom is a Christian pastor. A lot of Haitians that don't mess with her like that. I know a lot of Haitians that don't mess with her like that. Yeah, well, Jessie Wu is a trip, man. She talked about the traumatic experience of being raped and all that shit. But she quickly want to drag Whitney Houston. But you want to play the victim. She did. Go see that shit she did. Jessie Wu did this shit about Whitney Houston. I didn't think that shit was funny at all. Let me show you. Watch this shit here. Jokes on Whitney Houston. Watch this shit, man. Watch this. I thought that was immensely disrespectful. I'm like, bitch, you really gonna do that shit? That shit was insensitive as hell, man. Watch this shit, man. Watch this. Like, you joking about somebody dead, that shit wasn't even funny, really. This shit wasn't even funny, bro. I was like, why the fuck would you even make that type of joke? Like, that shit ain't even that funny. I think this is it right here. Damn, they gotta run these ads all the damn time, man. Anyway, I'm gonna let it go.
Back in the day, Grandpa took me on.
I'm gonna let it go. But that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of shit that you see is got a lot to do with a lot of other shit, man. Let's see what we got. All right, here we go.
It's my life, but unfortunately, I don't like at the time. And I'm dead.
Them niggas falling out on the floor. That shit ain't funny. Talking about that lady dead on some bullshit. And y'all know Whitney would have clapped at her ass. Y'all would know Whitney didn't give no fucks. Whitney would have been on her ass about that shit. Whitney didn't play about no shit. You say something about Whitney, she coming back at you. So that's the thing. Like, that's just this irreverent, disrespectful to one of our icons. You don't do no shit like that. You don't joke about that lady dying. Her daughter died. That shit ain't even funny, man. That shit is not funny. And sometimes wilding out and all that shit, I got my views of Nick Cannon dumbass. I do. I really think he a dumb motherfucker. I do. I think he's stupid. I think a lot of that shit on that show is negative. That's why the shit is on. That's why the shit is on TV. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good one, man. I'll see y'all.